Hey y'all, thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me first impressions. I'm going to be using two palettes brand new to me that I'm finally getting a chance to play with. I'm super excited. One is the Blend Buddy Cosmetics Blends palette. I've owned this for far too long. Finally going to start pulling it into rotation and giving it a try because I feel like everyone raves about Blend Buddy Cosmetics and I am very late to the game because when I bought this, she only had one palette and now she has 3 palettes on her in her brand. But anyway, I'm still going to use it. I'm still going to get to give it a try and I'm very excited. And then to pair along with this, since this is an all matte palette, I'm also going to be trying another new brand for my first time. This is the Saints Angels Sinners Cosmetics brand and this is their Get Lucky palette that the brand sent to me. I was really appreciative. They sent it to me before my move. Several weeks ago at this point, very long time. I'm finally getting around to it and these two are just going to pair so beautifully together because this is all shimmers, this is all mattes. So these are the two palettes I'm going to be working on. I cannot wait to dip into these shadows. They look so pretty, so beautiful. So that's what I'm going to be using on my eyes. And then I thought for the topic of this video, it's going to be very random. I should throw this out there. But I thought it'd be fun to just talk about some of my Amazon recommendations in this video. I was trying to think of something, you know, fun to like talk about as I'm doing my makeup so it's not super boring to watch. And I was like, you know what? There's a couple things that I've bought recently that I was sharing over on my Instagram of like, hey, highly recommend this, you should definitely check it out type of thing. And so I was like, let's just do it in a video. I don't know how many items we're going to go over, but these are just going to be my random Amazon recommendations list. And I am going to fill it with Amazon. So down below in the description box, I'll have all my Amazon links if you want to shop. No pressure at all. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a fun topic to chat about as we do our makeup together. So let me get a bit closer and we can jump right in and create something on my eyes. Alright, so for concealer, I use the Ace Beaute Eyeshadow Amplifying Base in Light. Okay, let's talk about this palette first, the Get Lucky palette, because I definitely know I gotta decide what I want to do with my shimmer on the lid before I kind of go into the mattes. At least that's the way I'm going to handle this, because there's so many beautiful shades in here. The middle one is really just like, wow. I'm going to touch a couple of them and we'll swatch them just to see. I'm not sure if they're all multi-chromes or just some of them, or they're just really beautiful shifty shadows. Oh my goodness. That is so beautiful. This is also really pretty as well. That looks more, yeah, it's got a lot of lightness to it. It doesn't look multi-chromish, but you can see like the brightness as you move around. A lot of intensity. This shade as well, Rainbows, calling my name. Oh, I just love that like medallion. That's the word that comes to mind when I see it. Elephants. Let's try elephants too. Ah, so pretty. They're very smooth feeling. Let me just swatch these right here. Okay, this is much more of like a transparent type of shade, but gives a ton of shine, like a ton of shine. I feel like that would probably work as a highlighter too. This has a lot more color pigment to it. Also a ton of shine. Oh, I love that type of dirty looking gold. That copper. This shade's also pretty, but it's pretty dark. I don't really plan to use it. This shade looks like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this for like inner corner. I guess if I don't use that for the inner corner, because that definitely looks kind of like, in my book, a staple inner corner type of shade. We didn't touch Ladybug. And this kind of looks like that typical kind of bronzy duochrome. What was it called? Like that blue, is it blue-brown type of shadow? So I'm going to touch this one for my 4th one. Oh well, I got a thumb. I forgot, I have 5 fingers. I could swatch them all. Might as well. I swatched almost all of them. Let's just finish it up. So we got that shade. Ah, so intense. Oh my goodness. Ooh. That shade also, it's got a lot of intensity. Kind of like the first one, doesn't have a ton of pigment, but it's got a lot of shine. Okay, let me put this one. Yeah, that's kind of like that brown gold type of duochrome that I feel like was super popular kind of when duochromes were first coming out. So here they all are swatched. I think I'm gonna go more in this coppery tone. I feel like this copper is really calling my name, but this shade also is super interesting. I don't think any are true multi-chrome. Definitely some duochromes, I would say. This shade also is like mesmerizing. Maybe I can use a combination of the two on my lid. That'd be really pretty. I just like how much shine this one has. But this shade is also very unique and different, I feel like. I thought swatching it out would help me kind of decide, but here I am. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do Horseshoe and maybe with this shade too, but I also really like that copper, so somewhere in here. Let me see what I'm gonna do for mattes now, because with that one shade that's really calling my name, which is Horseshoe, I feel like you can really go with a lot of different ways when it comes to the mattes, so that also frees up a little bit. All right, let's see. I kind of want to go into the greens, but I feel like that's just me. I've been into a lot of greens lately, so let me try to do something else. I feel like that shade would look really pretty with some purples in the crease, and I rarely do purples, like rarely as in hardly ever. So maybe I can do green on the inner corner to purple and then the wisteria shade. Or no, maybe I should do more like a baby pink into purple. Like really light on the inner corner to this, and then the more bluish tones with that wisteria shade, blue-green on the lid. Let's do that. I feel like that'll be a fun, interesting combination with the purple and pinky shades, and then pairing it, as of right now, planning to pair it with this shade. We're gonna do that. We'll see how it goes. You guys know me. Make it up as I go. But I'm first gonna start out with a dark purple in the outer corner. So I like to start with my darkest colors way out there. And I'm gonna use this Worker Pro from Sonia G for my outer corner. And let's go ahead and jump right into this purple shade. There's also this bluey shade that's like blue purple, but it's like blue. But we're gonna do purple. I'm gonna stick to purple. Here I am already changing it up. We'll do that purple, the darkest purple, Bewitched. Okay, and as we jump into it, I figured I would scoot over, so if I want to put anything when we're talking about Amazon on the screen, I'll have a little bit of room. But we can go ahead as we dive into this first shade, talk about I got hair everywhere. Talk about the first product that I buy a lot and highly recommend. I actually have a video, the pigment. I really should put down some extra powder or something. You know what, I'm just gonna tap it off real good, and then we'll see how messy it makes it. But yeah, I have a video on this, but it is actually my hard wax that I buy on Amazon all the time. Been doing it, gosh, 6 years at this point that I've been purchasing them through Amazon. And I always forget the brand or how to properly pronounce it, but in my mind it's like Cetaphil, but I know that's a different brand. I'll put it here so you guys can see, but this brand has been fantastic when it comes to good hard wax that's great for sensitive areas. I learned very quickly when I was trying to figure out and learn how to wax myself at home, just because I was trying to save some money. I learned very quickly that not all hard wax is created equal, and there's some hard wax out there that like literally makes the process 10 times harder, more painful, and like kind of damages your skin because it's just so rough. So after trying one or two, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't think I can do this just because it's so painful. And then I started looking into different types of hard wax, and I was like, oh, this makes a difference. And I remember doing that research way long ago. Can't even remember all the details because it's been not 6 years. Gosh, I've been married for 8 years, I think. It's been a while, and you guys know I don't have a great memory, but I do remember researching, and it's like one of the more professional grade type of wax that you can get a hold of as just like a normal person. So it's very like high quality. You can buy in a tin. I always recommend, and I think in that video where I explained about hard wax, I did a video on it. I'll leave it linked up here. But I showed how I waxed my arms and demoed and showed how I worked with wax. But you can get a tin with the wax in it, and then for refills after you have the tin to put into your wax warmer, you can get a big bag. It's been going up. I remember when I first started doing hard wax 8 years ago, it was like in the 30s, like mid 30s for a big bag that would last me several months. You know, depends on how often you use it and how, like what areas you're doing. If you're doing small areas, it'll last you a long time because it's a big bag. But if you're doing like legs and just many different areas of your body, probably won't last as long. But I remember it being in the mid 30s, and now it's well into the 40s for a bag. So it's gone up, but it's still well worth it, because for the price you go to do it professionally in a salon, it's expensive, especially depending on the area you're doing. Like brows, probably I would just go and get my brows done professionally because I'm always scared around my brows. But for other areas of my body, like my arm, like I can just do my arm. You don't need a lot of, you know, precision or whatever, stuff like that. I'm gonna go into Promise. It's kind of like an in-between of pink and purple. It's really pretty, and I wanna put that into my inner crease. Kind of making this up as I go, really don't know what I'm doing, but that's the way I like it. So yeah, when I discovered that, and then discovered that I could buy it on Amazon, I've been buying it there ever since then, and I always just, whenever I'm getting low or fill up my tin for the last time, then I know to just place an order, so I have some for backup. So I'm always buying my wax from there, and it's a good price too because you're getting such a big bag. Of course, I haven't looked recently with inflation going up so much. I guess I could double check on that, but back then when I was purchasing it and, you know, just kind of comparing it to other brands, other more like nicer quality brands, and you could only get them in smaller tins and whatnot. So when you kind of added that all up to the big bag was just a lot more cost effective. So I've been doing that. Highly recommend it. It's a great hard wax. If you're new to hard wax, I definitely recommend you watch my video. You don't need the like the cloth like for a soft wax, and also hard wax is good on more sensitive areas. So I use it for down there when I wax down there. It's great. I use it all the time. I always recommend it whenever anyone asks. I also bought my wax warmer from Amazon. I actually bought it in a set before I knew that they're Brazilian wax. That GiGi is the brand, or GiGi, G-I-G-I. Whatever, but I bought the whole wax set with their Brazilian hard wax because I wanted the sensitive areas, or you know, wax for sensitive areas, and that's where I learned that their wax wasn't the best. It was very rough for me to discover that. But anyway, I bought the whole set from Amazon, and looking back, I wouldn't say it's the best wax warmer, but if you're wanting a one, that's the only one I can like refer you to because it's the only one I have. The only kind of con to it and why I say it's maybe not the best is because when I use it, I have to set it on the lowest setting, and depending on how full my wax is, if like the tin isn't super full, the wax is a little too hot initially, so I have to kind of let it cool down on the stick before I go in. So it makes it still just a little bit too hot for my comfort. That's really the only con, and that's the only reason I say it's maybe not the best one out there. I don't know if other ones are better. Haven't tried them, but I will say if you are looking for a wax warmer, this is the one I have that has the scale on it. Definitely get one with a scale. Don't get one with an on and off button. At least with the one I have, I can decide the scale, but there's some with on and off, and if it makes it way too hot, you just have no other way of cooling it down besides just like spinning for forever, letting the wax cool down. So that would be my recommendation. Okay, I'm going to clean off this brush that I used on the outer corner, and then I want to go in with, let's do Giggle. This purple here, and I'm going to put that kind of on top and connect it out. I love this brush because it's a very versatile brush. It's nice and poofy, but it's great for packing or blending type of thing, so I like it for these type of purposes where I'm like wanting a shade to connect. So far that dark purple, we're going to see how it plays with others, but very impressed with how it laid down. Nice and opaque, not patchy, so let's see how it goes. And purples can definitely be problematic to formulate and work with, for sure. Another recommendation, and like I said, this is going to be so random because it's just things that I've bought recently or have been using recently or thinking about or had to reorder whatnot, but if you are someone who wants to fix up your cabinets and you have like wooden cabinets or even, you know, wooden floors, but I was using these for cabinets, these markers right here are amazing. I'll go ahead and also stick up a video or a photo showing my before and after of cabinets because, as you guys know, I'm sure you're sick of hearing this, but we're selling our house, and so we were fixing it up to do the initial sell and all that, and our cabinets had definitely just been, it'd been through a lot. We have 3 kids and we've been in there for 3 years, and so the cabinets had more than their fair share of nicks and just you know, whatnot on them, and so we wanted to fill those in just to make it look nicer and then polish them up. And these worked so well. I was so impressed. We don't have any of those type of wooden cabinets in our current home, but if we did, I'd be keeping those and using them because it's just nice to be able to fill in, like when the kids, you know, scratch it with their, you know, their toys or whatnot. Or honestly, a lot of this stuff is just nicks and marks from who knows what. It's like, how does that get there? Like, what happened here? But these work so well. I didn't really use the waxy crayons, but the markers, A++, and I don't know if like the photo speaks for itself, but if it doesn't, it was so good. Like after I did it, I took a couple before and afters because I was so impressed with it, but after I did it, like just standing back and looking at it, it was like, man, these look like almost brand new. They look so nice, especially after I did that, then I polished them up. It looked really, really nice. So that would definitely be my recommendation if you have a floor that's getting scratches in it. And I think the wax would come in very handy for the floors because if you have scratches that need filling in, that's where the kind of waxy crayon would be helpful. I was using it mainly for nicks and stuff. I'm gonna go back into the darkest purple and just work at blending these two together. I think it's turning out really, really nice, like beautiful blend. And I guess I could also say maybe like this isn't a recommendation, but like a void, but this product right here, we bought to try to fix up an area of our stainless steel refrigerator at our old house to make it look nicer because it got a couple scratches in it. It made it look a little bit better because you couldn't see the scratches as well, but it kind of just made the area of scratches bigger because you had to try to blend it and more noticeable because you could see more of an area. I don't know, like I guess it worked because it did definitely smooth out the scratches that were there because they were going like this way. So it smoothed it out to make it go with it, with the grain of the stainless steel fridge. But then it just made the area of like difference between the fridge more like very noticeable because you can definitely tell like, oh, looks like a patch job there, basically is what I'm saying. So I don't know if there's something better or if that's just the best you can do when it comes to trying to take scratches out of a stainless steel fridge freezer. But I mean, if that's the best, then okay, I guess it worked. But like I said, when we were done, it's like, yeah, you can tell you tried to patch that up. I'm gonna take that, let's just do, just to try something different, Signs, which is the kind of purple between the two I was working with. I'm gonna take this little liner brush, but we're gonna put this, ooh, so pigmented, okay. Did not need that much. You guys know how I like to do this, but just to add a little bit more definition right in here, like that. I like to see a little bit of a like color differentiation and blend peeking out behind whatever shimmers I put down. So that's kind of like why I do this. I feel like it's almost unnecessary. And these are a lot more pigmented than I'm giving them credit for, so I need to be a little bit more careful. They are very pigmented, not in a bad way, not in a powdery way, not in a like, oh my goodness, I can't mess up, but in a, you gotta pay attention, Katie, and not be so haphazardly when you do your makeup. So it's a good type of pigmented, very good. I'm super impressed so far with all the shades that I've tried so far from this palette. Also, I should mention, fallout. I've been tapping off my brushes really good, but like no fallout. Very impressed, very thankful too, because purple would definitely be noticeable. You know what? I'm gonna do my shimmer first and then we'll do my lower lash line. That way if I need to add another color to help everything kind of tie together from my own mistakes, I'll have the opportunity. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of this MBA Glitter Glue. I don't think it needs it to show up well because I'm definitely anticipating this going on easy and looking impressive. But I also think it's such a smooth type of formula. I'm gonna need it for help with it not transferring up into my crease. That's just an assumption since I haven't tried the palette yet, but it just seems like I don't like it when it goes super high into my crease. But the next recommendation I wanna talk about is GoodJanes Kiss My Lash, hashtag Kiss My Lash Mirror. This is a lash mirror. I'm going to put a little Instagram reel that I did to demo it not too long ago. And it is, if you struggle with lashes or if you're new to lashes, I'm someone who's not new to lashes, but I will definitely say like I struggle with lashes, doesn't matter how many times I do it. I always struggle with just an ordinary mirror. But when I got this, I now no longer struggle putting on lashes because of that three-way mirror, it allows you to look down into this mirror and this mirror lets you see right on top of your lashes. So I find putting my lashes on so simple and I get such a good close set with them, which is I think very important when you're using lashes. I just can't recommend it enough. Like seriously, it is such a good product and it's one of those like gadgety type of beauty tools, but it's one that is actually in my eyes very worth it because it's a gadget type of beauty tool that I use anytime I wear lashes. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this more flat, bigger flat brush. I'm gonna go into Horseshoe, which is that shade. I will do that first and see how it looks, and then I'll decide if I want to do that middle shade, Rabbit's Foot. Speaking of feet, my foot has definitely fallen asleep. It is tingling as it's waking up. Knock it off so I don't make a mess, and let's see. It's showing up a lot more green, but purple and green is very pretty. I think it's a pretty combination, so we're gonna go with it, obviously. But yeah, I've talked about it before in a video like long ago when the brand, I don't think it was the brand that reached out to me. I think it was just one of those companies that I worked with long ago that would, you know, pair influencers with brands to try products or, you know, to use it in exchange for sharing about it type of thing. Because I remember being in Virginia when I first got it and I have used it ever since. Look how pretty that is. So beautiful. I hope I'm not too washed out. But yeah, I use it all the time. And I actually had not too long ago given it to someone else to try because they were trying to learn lashes and I, you know, let them have it. And then I was like, I really do miss this in my collection. So I'm glad to have it again in my collection to have, because like I said, anytime I wear lashes, if I don't have that, I feel like I struggle so much more and I sometimes just fail and tear it off altogether because it's just such a frustrating process for me without that mirror. The mirror just makes it so simple. And yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. Like I said, if you're someone who doesn't matter how long you've been wearing lashes, you just always struggle, or if you're someone who's scared to try lashes because you know you're going to struggle, or you just have tried a few times and you're always struggling to get a good lash placement because it's definitely important. If you can't get it close enough, it's gonna look kind of funky. And yeah, that's my recommendation. Definitely cannot recommend it enough. You can get it on Amazon for not too terrible a price. Right now when I'm recording it, it's actually like has a whole coupon for 25% off if you buy it. You can like put the coupon in your cart. So that's a great deal. I'm gonna go ahead and do it with Rabbit's Foot. We're gonna put it right on top. Ooh, it might be a little too close to the pink. Kind of want it to pop more though. We're gonna do the medallion shade. We'll do Rabbit's Foot for the inner corner. It's just gonna blend in too much with the pink that I did on the inner corner. If the Rabbit's Foot I could place next to the purple, it would pop more. You guys know me, I like an interesting color combination, so maybe not the best choice. It's called Rainbows in this palette, if you're curious. I think that'll be fun. As I combine the two, that'll look good. Okay, sorry, I just got all caught up in doing, working with the two shades. I totally forgot about talking to you guys. So here I am all finished up. Well, not all finished up, but finished up with that blend. I like it. I think it's a fun color combination for sure with the pink and purple and then the more medallion gold to this, I don't even know how to describe horseshoe. It's just beautiful, basically. I'm just gonna go in with that Bewitched shade, just a little bit of it. Next one I wanted to touch on was Cinema Secrets. I know you can get it at Sephora, so not to say like Amazon's the only one, but I rarely ever order from Sephora. So unless there's a sale going on and I have a coupon and it's a better price than Amazon, I often just order mine from Amazon. And yeah, if you are new to Cinema Secrets, it's literally the only reason I wash my brushes or I clean my brushes, because especially like as you can see with me doing eyeshadow looks and stuff, I'm always using different colors. So yeah, I can use a color switch, but honestly, like with a color switch, when there's different colors, I could clean this brush off really good. I'm using the Sigma one, which you can also pretty much sure buy on Amazon, but it's still gonna be stained. And for me, I'm like, I don't wanna use this for a green eye look if it's got a little purple in it. So I don't reuse brushes a ton. I'll reuse them for the same color occasionally and whatnot, but I'm not always like, just like, oh, I do my makeup and then I just do a color switch for all the brushes and boom, I use them again. So I'm always going through brushes and I always need to wash them. And I'm just someone who just doesn't take a lot of time. Like there's always so many things to do. Brushes is the bottom of the list, and Cinema Secrets is something that you can pour into a bowl. You dip your brush into it and you just wipe it on a paper towel or a towel and your brush is clean. You don't have to use the water and soap and let it dry for overnight or anything. It's a much faster process and maybe not the best thing to do all the time to your brushes, but like I said, if I didn't have it, I would never clean my brushes because I just never have the time. So yeah, it's definitely, that product is something I recommend all the time. And like I said, you can get it on Amazon. So I figured I would plug it here. Definitely, I've bought so many bottles of it over the years. And like I said, I tend to do my face brushes, I'll wash with soap and water, but with my eyeshadow brushes, because they're just a little bit of color on them, I just need to get that color off. Cinema Secrets is my favorite when it comes to eyeshadow brushes. So I'm gonna pause real quick and use this Dragun Beauty liner and do a wing liner and mascara, and then we'll finish off with the lower lash line and inner corner. Okay, this is the second time I've tried this Dragun Beauty liner. I just get so frustrated trying to get a nice and opaque line. If you're curious, that's what I'm using, and I don't really like it. I think I'm gonna declutter it after this. But anyway, for my mascara, I use my Unlimited mascara. It's definitely drying up, so I think this is the last time I'll use it because it was a little bit of a struggle to actually get it on. Let's go ahead and finish out my lower lash line, and then we can talk about another product that I buy, obviously off of Amazon. But this is a planner, kind of. It's a weekly scheduling pad. Now this is going to be a recommendation for people who aren't planner people. I know a lot of planner people. My sister's definitely one of them. Like, she loves the planners. I've tried them. What am I doing with my lower lash line? Let me think about this for a minute. You know what? I'm gonna go more a little bit. I'm gonna dip into this, and then I think I'm gonna use this, just to kind of tie in the upper, or the lid shade. Anyway, I've tried to be a planner person so many times, and I'm just not. I'm someone who they tend to be a waste of money for me, because I'll get a big old planner and then I'll use it for a couple months, then I'll forget, then I'll use it for a week or two, then I'll forget. So by the end of the year, I have this huge planner that I use barely half of it, and I'm just like, that's so wasteful. I'm terrible at planning. I'm much more the fly by the seat of your pants type of person. However, the older I get, the more children I have, the more stuff I have going on, I need to be able to plan something. I need to plan my life a little bit. So I think it was sometime last year, fallish of last year, I was like, I want a weekly schedule or planner. I want a weekly planner that I can tear off the sheets. So if I skip weeks, I'm not wasting money, if that makes sense, because usually planners already have all the days set up, you know, and if you skip them, if you just, you know, things get crazy and you never open your planner that week, you just have these empty pages now. So I wanted something that was just a pad. Every week, it's just 1 week at a time. I can go and fill in the dates for whenever that week is. That's what I was wanting. So I looked for so long on Amazon and I finally found this right here, and I love it. I really, really like it. So again, this is for people who aren't planner people, but you kind of want to be able to kind of schedule some things. I feel like it's just so fantastic for that purpose, because like I said, if you just got a lot going on 1 week and you just want to be able to write out some things so you don't forget and you can just feel a little bit more organized and whatnot, or you just want to be able to plan out your meals a week at a time. You can do 2 weeks at a time. You just, you know, use the next page or whatever, but you're not going to waste money if you just, like me, will put it in a drawer and then forget about it for 2 months, be like, oh yeah, let me get the planner out because a lot's going on. I need help remembering, because that's me. I haven't used it in probably 2 months since the whole move and all that, but I did just unpack it the other day and I'm like, oh yes, I'm pulling you back out. I like it because there's not a whole lot on it, and I like that because some planners are just a little too, like, just too much of, you know, too much unnecessary things that I'm not going to use. I just use this shade and then this shade, and I'm going to tap into this shade now just to soften everything out and tie it all together with what I have up there. I like that it's just a couple things. I mainly use it for the big things we're having, you know, going on that week, the, you know, phone calls I gotta make, things I gotta accomplish during the week. I like it for meals. I'll plan out my meals about a week at a time, and then there's room to like do, like I said, appointments, places to go, if I need to prep something the day before, goals for the week, which I like because sometimes there's stuff that need to get done, but maybe not necessarily on a specific day, it just needs to get done at some point. So you can put that, or you got the space for this specific day. And there's also a little section for like habits or whatnot. And I like this because I am the worst at creating habits and I'm always forgetting. So I will put on there like the vitamins, like to take my vitamins every day. And you can check it off every day to see and look back at the end of the week how you did. And it's just perfect for me. Like, it's just exactly what I can, like, for me being such like a not a planner person, it's a perfect amount of planning without feeling like I'm always wasting money buying all these big planners. I'm going to use something fun in my waterline. Let's use this one. It's Colourpop's Zulu. It's definitely drying out, so I'm trying to use it any chance I can that it like ties together with a look. So let's use it. But yeah, it's just been fantastic. And like I said, when I put it in a drawer and forget about it for a while, I don't feel like I'm wasting money, because whenever I pull it out and I want to start using it, like, I could just carry on exactly from the page that I had before. And I'm also not someone who like feels the need, at least not right now at this stage in my life, but feels the need to save what I'm doing each week and what I'm eating each week. So I just throw it away at the end of the week. I suppose if you're someone who likes to save your books and whatnot, your planner books, you probably wouldn't like that, but I like that, that I can just toss the page into the recycle and carry on to the next one, basically. All right, this is definitely very dry. It's taken me so long to get it to stick to my tiny little lashes. But also I should say that the page is nice and big, like the planner is very big. I wasn't sure, that's a hard part of like trying to look at planners on Amazon. It can be hard to like gauge size, but it is a nice big size. I would say it's like a bigger than a standard size piece of paper. Yeah, a little bit bigger. It's a perfect, so it just sits on my desk and it's just fantastic. Such a random thing, but I really, like I said, I recommend it if you're not a planner person but you want to be able to organize week to week. It's perfect. So now I'm going to go in with that shade. I was bummed not to use that all over the lid, but I am glad I switched it up because it would have just meshed too much with my crease, and I like how this is popping. So we'll just use it for inner corner, and I will definitely use this all over my lid at some point as I'm testing this out. I didn't really say anything about the quality of these when I was using it, this palette specifically, but oh my goodness, I am impressed. Both of the shades I used on my lid, and even this one now, it's a little bit like maybe a messy looking, but it's very smooth. It's not like a lot of flaky stuff going everywhere. And oh, the shifts and whatnot. But these two on my lid were super smooth, very nice and opaque. They weren't chunky at all. They didn't make my eyelid look textured. They laid down very smooth, very beautiful. And I'll be curious to see how they wear and whatnot, but they're very smooth. They got a lot of like shine to them. Very impressed. impressed. I just had a live stream last night where I talked about a new palette that they came out, and I've gotten a lot of feedback on that video in the live chat and in comments of people saying like, oh yeah, I've tried Saints, Angels, Sinners. The brand is so good. The owner's so sweet and like responsive to the followers and whatnot. And she totally is. Like, she even watched that. I did it last night. I didn't tag her, but I don't know if someone told her, but I did it. I did the live stream last night, and then I went to bed, and in the morning, sometime during the night, she had watched the video and commented and like messaged me and whatnot and shared. I was so surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, she watched my video. I'm always like kind of floored when a brand watches my videos. It's like, oh my goodness, thank you. So yeah, super sweet brand. Super impressed with this. Oh my goodness. Wow. I love all 3 shimmers that I use. I only used 3 out of 9, but just to recap, it was this shade, and oh, just the middle row. There you go, the middle row. Okay, while I grab my lip color, I'm gonna shout out one more thing that I buy from Amazon because I feel like I didn't do the best job in giving you a lot of recommendations. I've just been chatting, and you know me, I can go on and on way too long about something. Let's do this one. This is Light Peach, a nice nude. We'll just do a nude. I know I'm boring, but we'll just do a nude. But I want to shout out one more thing that I buy on Amazon, and that is this cabinet polisher. As I was saying, you know, after we fix the cabinets up, I also polish them, and this thing makes them so shiny, and it's not just like a greasy type of shine that it adds to it, or just something that as soon as it dries and like the next day it's back to normal. No, this gives it a nice shine. And like when I was wiping it, because they say to like go with the you know, the lines of the wood, go in one direction and whatnot. Oh my goodness, it brought so much life to my cabinets. That's something I wish I did, took a good before and after, but I did not. But this is really nice. And this is the same brand. I'm pretty sure that I used the stainless steel. So here's something that I can recommend from that brand, because I was very impressed with the cabinet polisher because they look so very nice. The cabinets just had a lot of like not only shine to them, but a cleanness to them that, you know, didn't, like I said, it didn't go away. It made them just glisten a little bit, and it made it look pretty. So if you're someone who's trying to put going to put your house on the market, or if you're just someone who wants to clean up your cabinets. I remember doing that more than once, you know, growing up and whatnot with my mom and her cabinets. She would want to, you know, clean them up and polish them up every now and then. It was a great product. My last recommendation there, you can get it on Amazon. Amazon came in clutch so much for us with the move, because there were so many times like with the polisher and then with the markers, and you know, even the refrigerator thing, it was like, we need to fix this stat. I can't go to the store because there was times when my kids were sick, or just I wasn't feeling good. I didn't want to take everyone to the store, and Amazon really came in for us there because it was the 2-day shipping. We got it really fast, and we were able to like clean up cabinets and clean things up before people came to visit on the weekends. So yeah, we really appreciated Amazon's quick shipping during those occasions. But anyway, this is the final look. Let me zoom out and we can close out this video. All right, so that is pretty much the video. Here is the finished look. Per usual, I'll stick up close-ups as I talk, but overall, I mean, as I was saying throughout the video, I am incredibly impressed. I love the combination of colors. The mattes blended for Blend Blending Cosmetics. The mattes blended like a dream. Not a single issue when it came to purples. As I said, purples can be a little tricky. Absolutely no issues blending any of them together. They were very flawless. Also, no fallout, like no fallout. After that initial tap down, when I saw some fallout, I just would tap a little extra harder, and I still got plenty of pigment on my eyes and absolutely no fallout on my cheeks from the matte. So overall, first impressions on Blend Blending Cosmetics with this blends palette, incredibly impressed, and I can't wait to continue testing it out. You guys will see a full review from me in a future Paletteapalooza countdown review series, so be on the lookout for it. I can't wait to continue playing with it. And then of course also the Saints, Angels, Sinners Get Lucky palette. This palette, I've only used 3 out of the 9, but incredibly impressed. They are not like chunky, they're not flaky, there's no like obvious texture to them. They go on, at least the 2 that I tried, they went on so smoothly. No issues like getting them to lay down smoothly. Like the shadow itself, when you touch them, it's a very smooth formula, but also it's just very blinding and beautiful, and just so much sparkle going on, so much color. My inner corner, I cannot wait to use that shade all over the lid because it looks super pretty. But yeah, overall very impressed. I can't wait to continue using them, and just like, you know, from swatching them, I am pretty confident I'm going to enjoy this palette and just like how much sparkle it gives me, how much shine it gives me, but it's not like super chunky and flaky. I don't have a lot of issues with like trying to make it lay down and not give me that like Sahara Desert or like dragon scale look to my eyelids, because sometimes the super foiled, super beautiful ones can do that, and I don't like that personally. So with using those 2 on my lids, I was super impressed that they all went on super smooth, so easy to pick up with a brush too. They remind me of the Glam Lights type of shimmers, but they're so easy to pick up with a brush, which is not something that I find with Glam Light. I usually have to fight with Glam Light's formula to get onto a brush, onto my eyes. So it's definitely something a little bit different. It's just, it was very easy and effortless to pick up with a brush and go on my eyes. So overall, incredibly impressed with this for the first time using it. I can't wait to continue using it. And yeah, overall, oh, that's what I was gonna say. There was a teeny bit of fallout on my under eyes from putting on my lid shades. That's something I noticed when I was doing my mascara, just to throw it out there. Maybe you guys noticed it in the video, but that's my last little bit of review, first impressions. This isn't a review, but my last little bit of first impressions on the Get Lucky palette. And again, I'll definitely be reviewing it in a future palette palooza. But yeah, that is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you guys liked hearing my random Amazon recommendations. If you enjoyed this type of video, if you enjoyed hearing my recommendations or just what we tend to buy on Amazon, let me know and I can do this again in a future video. Or if you have another topic you'd love to hear me discuss during one of these first impressions get ready with me type of videos where I'm trying a new palette, definitely leave it down below in the comments. I love hearing your guys' suggestions, and if I use it, I always try to screenshot it and share it in the video just to give you guys a little shout out because I really do appreciate it. But that is going to do it for me. As always, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92 over there, and I post reels, up close eye pictures, all that sort of thing if you want to follow me over there. And with all that said, that is going to do it for me, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.